Hey guys, this is a video I've been wanting to make for a while now. Since it's Mental Health Awareness Month, I figured I'd let you guys in on like who I am as a person and just kind of just be honest about this kind of thing. Um I'm not going to read from a script. I'm not going to add music. I'm not going to edit anything. It's just going to be raw, open, and just me opening my heart up and letting you guys see the struggles I've gone through and that I still go through. As many of you know, last month I was selling merchandise, and any money that I made from that went strictly to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. And that's like a big foundation for me, and alright, here we go. The reason it's big to me is because suicide has been a part of my life for a very long time. I have had suicidal thoughts, I've attempted suicide 3 times, and I have lost people to suicide. And I don't want to go into their stories because, 1, privacy, I don't want to do that. And 2, I don't want their final actions to be their story. Like, who they were as people were amazing, and I missed them, and I wish I could have done more. But I don't want to dwell on that. I want to let you guys in on who I am. So I'm going to talk about my struggles. I'm going to say what I've gone through, and there's going to be positives at the end, like I promised. Like, I'm actually going to be like, oh, hey, here's some things that have happened. But we'll get to that. Alright. Here we go. I've dealt with depression for as long as I can remember. It was one of those things that was always kind of there, and I kind of just would sometimes not let people know about it. And I've been dealing with it from when I was in like probably 6th grade, to be honest. And I remember, and this is where it all goes downhill. I'm the kind of person who bottles up all their emotions. Like, if I'm angry, I'm not going to be like, oh, I want to punch everybody. I don't do that. I mean, granted, unless it's like football or something. Or like, I won't be, if I'm really sad, I'm not going to like sit there and cry unless it's like Logan, because that's a fantastic movie and it's sad. And if you ever watch that movie, you'll understand. But anyway, moving on. I'm the kind of person who just bottles it all up and just like lets it engulf me. And so in 7th grade, I was, again, dealing with depression. And, like, I had all these emotions and hormones. It was, ugh. But I remember I got into an argument with somebody in our class. And it was over, like, music. It wasn't even, like, anything big. But it was adding to the emotions that I had bottled up. And it was just starting to rile with me and just overflow. And so, like, all the emotions, all the hatred and anger, sadness and thoughts of suicide were just overflowing, and just I became manic and just grabbed a pair of scissors and went to stab myself. And this is in 7th grade. And as I went to stab myself, and like whether I was going to die from that or not, who knows, but like my intention was to die. And I kind of blacked out in a way. Like, I knew what I said, but I don't remember why I said it. But like, I grabbed those scissors and like something came over me, and I told my friend to just get everything sharp away from me. And he like wrestled that pair of scissors out of my hands and just pushed everything away, and I just cried. And so I got sent to the principal's office, and my mom she worked there at the time. And so she came in, she's like, oh, what did you do now? And like, I was kind of a class clown, so like sometimes I'd go in there for like dumb things. And I didn't know what to say. She went in there and talked to the principal, and they were in there for like 10 minutes. And it felt like forever, I'm not even gonna lie. So the principal came out and said, hey, Sean, come on in. And I came in, and she said, you two need to talk. And the principal left the room. It was just me and my mom. And I remember she looked at me, crying. And it's engraved into my skull, this moment. She looked at me and said, are we this bad to you? Are we this bad to you? My own mother asking me that. And I didn't know what to say. I still don't know what to say to that to this day. Because, I don't know, man. Like, knowing you upset your mom and disappointed her that much to blame herself and the rest of your family, just... Alright. Moving on. I don't want to dwell on that. But, so I went to a psych ward for a little bit, and it was fine there. I met friends. Really weird, but I don't remember how long I was there. But so I came out and I was like, all right, I'm gonna battle this stuff. I'm gonna come out on top, and I did for a while. And like I said, like throughout all this time, I just had depression. And I don't mean like depression like, oh, I want to die memes. Like, okay, I understand humor is a way to cope. I do the same thing. But like, I will lay in bed, and I still do this. I will lay in bed at night for like 4 hours just thinking about how much I hate myself. I sit there and I'm just like, why don't you just stop? You're useless. You're not going to amount to anything. You're not going to do anything. And like these thoughts don't just like appear and then just disappear. It's like it's just ongoing and it's an onslaught, and like I hate it. And it's hard at night because like I don't sleep, but that's what I dealt with. And I still deal with, obviously. But when I was like 16, 17, I was dealing with a lot of stuff. Like some family stuff was going on that I'm not gonna get into detail. And just there was so much. Like I had teachers telling me I was never gonna amount to anything. I had friends who like I was losing. It just felt bad, and I was just losing who I was. And I was just done because like I didn't see a future for me. I saw, my brother and sister are going to be better than me. My mom and dad could do better without me. So I planned on ending it. And so I remember I got this bottle of like ibuprofen or Midol. I can't remember which one. I just remember I looked up like what would kill me. And I took like three handfuls and just chug. And I went to my buddy's house to play Super Smash Brothers because I'm a nerd, I'm not gonna lie. You all know that. But so, like, we do that, and, like, we were playing Super Smash Brothers Brawl because I love that one. I know some of you are gonna be like, Melee, but whatever. So, we're doing that, and I called my mom to come get me because I'm a poor kid who doesn't drive. And she came to get me, and I was outside, and I remember, like, I just felt sick, and I threw up once, and I looked to see if, if I threw up any pills or whatever, and I didn't, which was weird, and I know, like, some people saw me do that, and I don't know if they know that I tried to kill myself that day, but I got in the car, and I came home, and I knew to drink some alcohol, because I've read, like, oh, if you mix these pills with alcohol, you'll die. I didn't drink too much, because, like, I'm 16, I can't buy alcohol, but I drank a little bit, and I just wanted to die in my sleep, so I went to bed, and I just lay down, and I was just ready to go. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and I just had to pee. And this might get a little TMI, just heads up, but I went to the bathroom, like, to do that. And then I started throwing up profusely. And it was just, everything felt on fire. My stomach was on fire, my throat, my heart. I felt like I had heartburn and a heart attack all at once. I don't even know if that's what it felt like, but it was the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. And I've gotten to, like, head-on collision in a freaking car, which, whatever. But anyway, and I'm just throwing up, and I'm throwing up blood at this point. Like, I felt, how, like, you get hungover and you're, like, dry heaving? I was dry heaving, but throwing up blood. It was the absolute worst. And I didn't really, I didn't tell my parents that I tried to kill myself. I just told them that I was sick. I don't even know if I don't know if they know to this day that I tried to do that day. If they're watching this, yeah, I did, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But years pass, and I'm still battling this. And during this time period, I've lost people to suicide. And I wanted to make it a mission to help people. So, like, I do a lot of stuff to help. I talk to people, call people, all that fun stuff. But when it came to my own stuff, I just ignored it. I thought helping other people would help me get over it. And there was a time, like 4 or 5 years ago, that I was going through a bad breakup. I lost my job. I was a college dropout. I was going nowhere. And I just was like, I'm a burden to everybody. I was pushing friends away because of my depression, because I didn't think they wanted to see me. So I just pushed everyone away, and I ended up getting these thoughts that, like, I should just be done. I ended up getting a job, and I worked there for like 2 weeks. And I remember I was tweeting some dark stuff, and I was just like, you know what, today is the day. I'm just going to go through with it. I'm just going to get drunk and go. And my intention was to get in a car and either drive off a bridge or hit a tree. And that was my intention. And so I was tweeting that stuff. And someone from Draft Twitter tweeted at me and was like, Sean, you need to get help. And I appreciate that. If you're watching this, I really do appreciate that. I didn't that day, but I ended up just getting in my car and I drove for a while and I just got so angry. Do you hear that? 'Cause that's fun. Thank you, car. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not editing that out. I'm just going. So I'm driving and I just got so angry that I pulled over and just started screaming at God, like, why? Why am I going through this? Why do I still feel this way? Why do I hate myself every day? Why? Just why? And like, I let it all out. And all the emotions, like all the crying, all the angry, all the screaming, all the cut, it was just all out there. And I mean, obviously God didn't like open the clouds and like come down like, oh, Sean, this is what you gotta do. That didn't happen. That'd be cool if it did, but that didn't happen. I just let it all out. And I just laid there and passed out. And then I haven't tried since. I've had thoughts about it, I'm not gonna lie, but I haven't tried since. But here's the positives. Like I said, I always want to help people, and what I would do is I would talk to people. I know people that have tried to commit suicide, and I've called them, I've been on the phone with them, I've gone over houses, I've called police, I've done everything I can. And I'm not always perfect with that, because I'm only human, and I wish I could be perfect. I want to be perfect, but anyway. I used to do like school assemblies and talk in churches and things like that, and I'd share my stories. And there was just one time that I was at like this, I guess, youth outreach type of thing, and I had like this whole thing written down. Like, it was my last thing that I was gonna do when I lived in Cincinnati. I was like, all right, I have it all written down, and like I planned this out for like weeks, and I got there and I just had a thing in my stomach like, Sean, don't do that. Talk about your friend who went through with it. And you know how like you get that feeling in your stomach and you're just like, I should go through with that? I did. And you know, some people are like, oh, you know, that was awesome and stuff, and like it didn't seem like all that crazy stuff happened, but like I did it. I went through with it and I felt good. Now, fast forward. I came to visit Cincinnati, and we had like the school assembly, and we did like improv, and I freaking love improv. I love making people laugh and all that fun stuff. That's why I do YouTube. But anyway, and after everything, I was like, oh, hey, can I go say bye to people? And what I'm about to tell you like sounds crazy, but like people can attest, like they saw some of this. They might have seen all of it, some of it, but they saw. And there's this girl just standing there. And she's just looking at me. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just high-fiving kids. Like, oh, yeah, you're awesome. You're awesome. And she, like, inched closer. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I'm still high-fiving kids, being like, yeah, hey, and, you know, talking. And she inched closer. And I'm like, all right, she probably wants to talk to me. I don't think she's waiting for friends. So I went over to talk to her. She's like, hey, do you remember me? And I'm like, and before I could, like, say anything, like, I just was like, And she said, oh, I'm so-and-so. You know, I was there whenever you talked at, you know, the Dream Center. Was it Dream Center? Yeah, Dream Center. And, you know, you talked about your friend. And I'm like, yeah. And she said, you know, I've wanted to tell you this for a while now, but I've been, tongue-tied. But she said that she was battling depression, and she was having suicidal thoughts, and she was actually thinking about going through with it that night. And because I told the story, and I showed how it affected me, and how I've gone through with things like that, she said that made her risk another day. And she told me, like, what she was going to college for, and, like, honestly, I don't remember after that point, because I'm just, like, crying, and I just remember, like, hugging her, and I was bawling my eyes out. I didn't care how many kids saw me. I was in front of, like, I don't know how many, but I was just bawling. And that was one of the good stories. And I want you guys to understand that, like, I still go through things like this. Like, I go through depression. I go through those anxiety-ridden nights. Those just... I hate myself sometimes. And it sucks because, like, I want to make videos to make people happy, to make people laugh. And one of the biggest reasons I do this is because, like, I know personally I've gone to YouTube to, like, watch something to get my mind off of just hating life. And I want to do that for people. And I want people to not feel alone. And that, like, if me, a freaking 26-year-old loser who is a college dropout, can do all this stuff with his life, and I'm not going to, like, brag about things that I've done because I don't want to, but, like, if I can do these things, you guys can do so much more. And if you are battling with things like this personally, see, I wish I had, like, a screen so I could, like, read this quote, but whenever Robin Williams died, there's a quote I read that said, "Sometimes we don't realize the light we give to others." Something like that. Sometimes the brightest lights don't realize the light that they give. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. And that's so real because that's what we do. We give light. And, okay. Think of it this way. You might say, oh, well, I'm just like a little light. I'm not going to do that much. Think of at night. At nighttime, all the lights are off and you're, like, going somewhere. What do you use? Your phone light. Your little phone light blows up so much. So, like, during the day, you're not really going to notice that. But at night, during the darkness, you can be that light that someone needs. You can give that. You can give direction. You can show them where to go. And even if you don't know the words to say, just being there can help guide someone. And if you need someone to talk to me, please. I don't mean, like, you can DM me, whatever, on Twitter, you know, but if you need someone to talk to, text me. You want to open up. 412-526-4586. You don't have to tell me, you know, you don't have to give me a name. You just say, hey, I just want to talk. That's fine. I just want to help. I just want to be there for people. So if you need that, please text me. But I want to leave you with, you guys give me a lot of purpose. And I can't thank you all enough. I mean, having even one person watch my stuff is amazing. I am going to stab whatever, like, car is out there. But you guys mean the world to me. And thank you for making this life worth living for. I can't even speak right. I'm just tongue-tied right now. But thank you guys so much. And if you get anything from this, just be a light to other people. Just be a light, because you never know what you can do for someone. Thank you, and I love you all.